You won't believe what just popped up in the world of archaeology. It's being called the most mind-blowing discovery since the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, what's the big deal about this find? And what could be hiding inside it? Think you know everything about the early church? Well, hold on, because this video might just flip your perspective upside down. We all know how the Dead Sea Scrolls changed history and shook up people's beliefs, right? It was like witnessing a biblical miracle back then. Now, researchers have uncovered a mosaic that actually has the name Jesus Christ on it, and it's believed to date back to around 230 AD. This is huge because it could be the earliest evidence that supports Christians seeing Jesus as a divine figure. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Council of Nicaea. For those who haven't, it was a gathering of Christian bishops that happened in Nicaea, which is in modern-day Turkey, called together by Roman Emperor Constantine. The cool part is that this newly discovered mosaic is older than that council. So, it's clear that back then, Christians weren't just chatting about Jesus, they were already recognizing his divinity in their places of worship. Some folks, like the Unitarians, argue that the idea of worshiping Jesus as divine wasn't part of early Christian beliefs, and that it developed later due to political pressure. But this mosaic kind of throws a wrench in that theory. You might be wondering how that's even possible, right? Let's dig a little deeper. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Part of this mosaic was actually found back in 2005, and there was a lot of buzz about it on social media at the time. The full inscription was discovered a bit later. So, how did they even stumble upon this mosaic? It all started when plans were made to build a new wing at the Megiddo prison in 2004. The Israeli Antiquities authorities wanted to make sure there weren't any hidden treasures before construction began. And guess what? They found out that the prison was built right over an ancient prayer hall's mosaic floor. It was all perfectly preserved, with no signs of damage. The guy leading the dig mentioned that the place had been abandoned and no one had lived there since. This mosaic is being called the oldest Christian prayer house discovered so far, which is pretty wild since church buildings didn't really start popping up until the 4th century. Before that, Christians were gathering in homes, which were the heart of their communities. The IIAEA, that's the Israeli Antiquities Authority, is saying this structure is the oldest Christian prayer house in the world, showing us a glimpse of Christianity before it became mainstream. One of the coolest parts? There was an inscription that referred to the God Jesus Christ, which is super significant because it's the first piece of evidence indicating that people back then viewed Jesus as divine. The site was packed with artifacts, leading to a long search operation that went on for years, wrapping up around 2008. Interestingly, the prisoners even got to join in on the search and work alongside Israeli archaeologists. But here's the kicker. Because the prison was sitting on top of this ancient site, the search was delayed for ages. When they first found the Christian prayer hall beneath the prison, everyone was pumped. But then reality hit. It's a maximum security prison, so there wasn't much they could do about it. Matthew Adams, the excavation director, said it was frustrating because they couldn't dig as easily due to the prison being there. They even started making plans to move the prison to another location to get better access to the site. How wild is that? They planned everything out really well to move this prison so they could dig up the area without any issues. If they did the move right, archaeologists can do their thing, preserve the site, and later open it up for tourists. Now, what's the deal with the inscription found in the mosaic? Here's where it gets pretty cool. If you're still watching this video, you probably dig this kind of content and would fit right in with our community. You'll get to see all our new stuff before anyone else and check out exclusive videos that no one else gets. If you want to learn more, hit up the link in the description or the pinned comment. All right, back to the good stuff. So, they found 3 inscriptions on the mosaic, but the one on the west side is the most important. It says, "The God-loving kept his has offered the table of God, Jesus Christ, as a memorial." Early Christians believed Jesus was God, and they think this table was used for local Eucharist celebrations. It was also kept by a woman named Ai. A lot of people argue that Jesus was never called God back in the day, but this inscription totally goes against that idea. Some critics say Jesus wasn't seen as divine, but look at the inscription. It literally says, "God, Jesus Christ." That's got to mean something, right? Yeah. This evidence suggests that Christians really did believe Jesus is God, which strengthens the credibility of the Bible. It also challenges what skeptics have said about Jesus' divinity developing later on, as Christianity distanced itself from the actual events of his life. So now we have something to say that might flip that idea on its head. Another cool message on the north side of the mosaic talks about a donation from a Roman centurion named Going Ignis to help build that place. They also called him Porphyry, our brother. Then, the archaeologists made an exciting discovery. They found out that the Christian prayer hall was in an ancient Jewish village right next to a Roman army camp and a Roman Byzantine city. On the EAA website, they said, "We have archaeological evidence of an early Christian community that included Roman army officers before Christianity was officially recognized, and years before it became the empire's official religion." All this info helps us look into how Christianity developed before Emperor Constantine and how the Roman army interacted with it in the eastern part of the empire and in Israel. These findings really shed light on how the Romans viewed the early church. It was commonly believed that Roman authorities were totally against Christianity back then. But the evidence suggests there might have been some acceptance or tolerance of the faith among them. The archaeologists also discovered that the area with the church hall had a mix of people from different cultures and religions. It wasn't just Romans living near the Christians. They found a village with Jewish and Samaritan folks too. Dr. Yotam Tepper told the Jerusalem Post that through these digs, they learned about the connections between Samaritans, Jews, pagans, Christians, soldiers, and civilians. Having neighborhoods with so many different religions and ethnicities close together is pretty special. You can see their houses next to each other, which shows there was a good relationship among them. This place is super interesting to excavate and learn about how different religions interacted. It could really add to our understanding of the past. Hey everyone! So when we check out that Eastern inscription, it's pretty cool because it's all about remembering 4 women. We've got names like Dorothea and Cadastre in there, but no one really knows why they're mentioned in that inscription. Then there are these fish images, which, back in the day, were a big deal in Christianity. It's a Greek thing, you know? If you look closely at the letters, they actually spell out an acronym: Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. The fish image also ties back to when Jesus called Peter and Andrew, who were fishermen, to follow him and become fishers of men. You can find this in Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 to 20, where it says that while Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee, he spotted Simon, Peter, and his brother Andrew casting their nets. He told them to follow him, and they dropped everything to do just that. Let's delve into the fascinating history of Megiddo, a truly remarkable location that holds a significant place in the annals of the Middle East. This ancient site boasts a history that stretches back to approximately 5000 BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited places in the region. Over the millennia, Megiddo has witnessed a myriad of battles, earning a reputation as a strategic stronghold. Its geographical position made it a critical junction for trade and military routes, which inevitably led to its involvement in numerous conflicts throughout history. One of the most notable figures associated with Megiddo is King Solomon, who is said to have recognized the site's strategic importance and fortified it during his reign. This enhancement not only served to protect the city, but also underscored its significance in the ancient world. The remnants of these fortifications can still be seen today, offering a glimpse into the architectural prowess of the time and the vital role Megiddo played in the Kingdom of Israel. Beyond its historical battles and fortifications, Megiddo is steeped in rich cultural narratives and legends, which contribute to its allure. It is mentioned in various historical texts and has been the subject of archaeological research, revealing layers of civilization that have called this area home over the centuries. Moreover, Megiddo is prophesied to have a captivating future as well. In the Book of Revelation, a part of the Christian biblical canon, it is foretold that this ancient site will be the stage for a monumental confrontation between the forces of good and evil. This prophetic vision adds an intriguing dimension to Megiddo's legacy, as it is often associated with the apocalyptic battles that will determine the fate of humanity. The name Armageddon, derived from the Hebrew Har Megiddo, has become synonymous with this ultimate showdown, capturing the imagination of countless generations. In summary, Megiddo is not just an archaeological site. It is a tapestry of history, legend, and prophecy, intricately woven together to create a narrative that spans thousands of years. Its past is rich with tales of warfare and governance, while its future holds the promise of dramatic and cosmic significance, making it a place of enduring fascination for historians, theologians, and travelers alike. If you take a trip to Megiddo today, you might be surprised to find that it is not home to any bustling cities or large towns. Instead, the landscape is characterized by a serene and tranquil atmosphere, with only a small kibbutz dotting the area. This kibbutz is a community that centers its efforts on agriculture, reflecting a way of life that is closely tied to the land. Despite the sparse population in the present day, it is important to recognize that Megiddo held tremendous significance in ancient times, serving as a pivotal location in the historical and cultural narratives of the region. Recent archaeological discoveries have provided us with compelling evidence that challenges the skepticism of some historians and critics regarding the religious practices of ancient peoples. It has become increasingly clear that the inhabitants of Megiddo and other similar ancient communities were engaged in spiritual beliefs and practices that foreshadowed the formal doctrines established later at the Council of Nicaea. Contrary to the notion that these early believers were merely nominal in their faith, the archaeological record indicates that they genuinely believed in the divinity of Jesus Christ. Their faith was not just a matter of rhetoric. They actively embodied their beliefs through their actions, carving symbols and preserving their convictions in various forms. This intricate tapestry of belief and practice provides a fascinating glimpse into the spiritual lives of those who lived in this historically rich region long before the establishment of formalized Christian doctrine. This remarkable discovery truly provides a fresh and enlightening perspective on the beliefs and worship practices of ancient peoples regarding Jesus Christ. The implications of this find are nothing short of astonishing, wouldn't you agree? It invites us to delve deeper into the historical context of early Christianity and consider how the faith was perceived and celebrated in those times. So, what are your thoughts on this intriguing revelation? Do you feel that this discovery alters your understanding of Christianity in any significant way? The existence of this mosaic seems to suggest that the people of that era held a profound belief in the divinity of Jesus, which is a compelling notion to ponder. We are eager to hear your insights and reflections on this topic, so please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspectives are invaluable as we explore the rich tapestry of faith and history together.